Just got this radio in today. I've been trolling for one very similar to this for quite some time, and I was rather surprised at the enormous size of this. This is a Sony ICF-9550W. This radio came out about 1972. 8 transistors, solid state, 2 bands, broadcast band and FM. Size on this, like I said, is a lot bigger than I was expecting. I've not seen one of these in person. I've seen similar, which were smaller. This one here checks in at 14 and a half inches long, 9¼ inches tall, and 6¼ inches deep. Not sure on the weight, but it's a good couple of pounds. Definitely don't want to drop it on your foot, with shoe or without shoe. This radio was made in Taiwan. It's amazing. Just an awesome radio. Has fantastic reception, both AM and FM. This thing is phenomenal reception. It's just amazing. This model came with an illuminated dial light. Unfortunately, mine are not working.
Harming others. With that being said, does legalizing pot harm other people?
Well, I mean, it depends what you mean by harm, I suppose. You have to make a distinction.
Now with this radio, I forgot to point out the switches and the knobs. We have the band switch, FM and AM. We're on AM right now. And we have the loudness button. And this model actually has separate bass and separate treble. One of the reasons I was going after this particular radio. Maybe not necessarily this model number, but this particular radio with the bass and treble. Volume control and tuning. Let me flip it around real quick and then we'll get back into the navigation. As you can see, this has a really nice big speaker. This thing sounds so warm and so fantastic. It's awesome. Now I'm going to cover up part of this right here because the previous owner had written their name in Sharpie, or is it Sharpay? Either way, I'm going to have to find out a good way of cleaning it without bleaching or damaging the wood. On the back we just simply have antenna inputs for FM. We have external right here, 75 ohm, or internal. And like I said, it's pretty amazing the reception on this. Now this is well, my first thought was it was laminated sticker, but I'm really not sure. I've seen some reports where they said it was actually wood. Now I can feel the roughness on the back, on the edging, but the front, no. But I do believe it is a sticker. Anyway, back to this, the important stuff. Now you're going to hear some buzzing. Well, right there's the radio. In my house, for some dumb reason, I have some kind of electrical noise, and it does affect radios. This one does a pretty good job at isolating the noise, but at the lower bands you can hear it.
Medical marijuana, which, as Robert mentioned, is very widely, broadly interpreted in California.
Yes.
They've had that since '96. In California, it depends on your...
There's that buzzing I was telling you about.
Sales. argue with your man or your woman or your significant other about.
Now, unfortunately, where I live, AM radio is all talk radio, Spanish, or sports. It really sucks.
Welcome back indoors in St. Petersburg at Tropicana Field, where the Athletics dropped game one of this four-game series against the first-place Tampa Bay Rays out of the American League East by the final. Different outcome had Billy Burns scored from third base after leading off the game with
Álvaro Obregón marchó en Guadalajara en 1913 y su destrucción incluyó la invasión de la cripta de la catedral donde profanaron
Now I have the base
los obispos. Algunos de ellos habían estado
about
allí por 300 años.
15th of the way up, not very high. Do have the loudness on. That's loudness off. And that's with the bass all the way up. Treble is all the way up.
Pero para los estudiantes, los jóvenes, mi presentación.
Hear how nice and warm that sounds. I'm sure in an environment where you had decent AM radio programming, this would be a stellar radio to have.
When you buy your clothes at DXL, you look good. But you feel like a rock star.
The tuning knob is really nice and firm. It gives you that resistance so you can go slow and control your tuning.
Underwriter announcements to learn more. Heart to Heart with Mother Miriam. Hello.
And it's not going to wiggle, move out of frequency no matter how hard you hit this radio. Let's go to the FM band, or in ham radio as we call it, the fun mode. Now, I'm not sure if the FM and the AM is supposed to illuminate as well, like the rest of the dial. We'll find that out as soon as we open it up.
We are thankful to be a part of your story, and that your 4-year-old knows to request certain songs that make him happy too.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Adjust the bass here.
Tomorrow morning, 20 lucky listeners will be going to see Train on Thursday. Hey, it's Tanner with the...
Now let's find some music.
So what? Add a movable bass to your Temper Breeze and get a Visa gift card.
Like, I want you to sing to me, I don't want you to talk to me. Feel the cabinet vibrating from that bass. It's pretty amazing. Looking forward to see what size speakers in there. See right there.
Get out to see Hope.
That's where I got the volume. Not very loud. Or turned up all the way. This thing, I would imagine, is very loud and proud. good response. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. After that cool music, here's something to put you to sleep with. Alright. Enough with the fun. Let's go ahead and dig in and see what's happening. Dust. All we are, just dust in the wind. There are clips right here. And screws. 2 screws. Oh, 3 screws. Oh, 4 screws. 5 screw. That almost sounds like a making of a raunchy joke. Well, here I am 3 days since the last time or 4 days since the last time I recorded. Last time I replaced a few caps and thought I broke the radio. Couldn't figure it out. So I spent the next 3 days, 4 days figuring it out. I went through and replaced all the electrolytic capacitors and trying to figure out what I did. I went over and over and over every single electrolytic, making sure I had the right value, making sure they were in the correct position, making sure I had no cold solder joints, no bridges or blobs or anything like that. No matter what I did, I could not change the radio station. I would sit, spin that, and nothing. In fact, let me plug it in and I'll show you exactly, because I can recreate this. Okay, so I got the radio plugged in, got a speaker plugged in. Radio's on. And I go to change the channel. And you see, no matter what I do, nothing. Go to FM, same thing. Well, after fussing and fighting and pulling my hair out and thinking, man, I can't be that terrible of a tech, can I? Anything's possible. I started off in electronics as a young man and did it for a while until I was in my 20s, and well, I haven't really done anything with it in the last 30 years. And so I'm just now getting back into it. So yeah, anything is possible. I suck. I'll agree to that. After pulling out what little hair I have left out, it dawned on me what I was doing wrong. You see, pay attention to the channel selector knob. I'm going to flip this over. See this cam? These two holes? That tone board, volume control board, is not electrically connected to this, the channel selector. Channel selector connects to the tuner via these right here. Those little fingers.
As the world governing body for organized soccer. A new study suggests a low-fat vegan diet can provide...
Well, this morning at 4 o'clock when that dawned on me what I was doing, I felt brilliant. Real brilliant. But that's okay, because going through this and getting the schematic and going through the schematic, I found a few things of interest. Not on the tone board, volume board, but here. This capacitor is not on the schematics. Neither is that one. And furthermore, these two show totally different values on the schematic. What I pulled out here were two of these, 2200s, 16 volts. This one, this 2216, I pulled out of here. The schematic calls for 1000 microfarads here. The schematic does not show that capacitor, nor does it show that capacitor. I thought when I was going through the schematic that it was a 4.7, which is this one right here. But as you see, that one there is hidden underneath the wires, and so I'm working with this, thinking, oh, it's that one. In fact, I got to replace that one. That's one of my new ones, and the top's already bubbled. So I got to pluck that out. And it was rather interesting. I originally stuck the 4.7 microfarads in there, thinking it was this one. I moved the wires and I noticed, oh, okay. So, let me show you that. This here is the 4.7, and you see right here is about where that 333 ohm or 333 microfarad should be. But it's not labeled, nor does it show any pin in, pin out. The other one should be right here, and it's not. But, oh, real quick while I'm on this screen, oops. There's those two filter caps that I pulled out at 2200 microfarads. As you can see, it's clearly 1000. So, if I scroll up and go over here, this talks about aligning the AM up, the front end. But you can see clearly there's the 333, and now let me pull up the other screen because I thought I saw the other one there. Right. So there's the other missing one. 333, 4.7, 4.7, 1000. I got to learn to look through the screen. One eye on the screen, and one eye what I'm doing. And then two filter caps. I'm gonna try to wrap this project up. Simple project that lasted 4 days. 4 days, a lot longer than it should have. I almost forgot. I need to replace this 330 ohm cap right here. So let me do that real quick. Here it is, all put back together. I cleaned it up a little bit. Finished looking really nice. I'm not sure if it's ever been cleaned or when the last time it was cleaned, but it looks really good. I'll apply another coat of furniture cleaner later. It sounds good, looks good. Turn the lighting off. My only issue is the lighting that I put in there is not as bright as I kind of hoped it to be. But on the other side, it's not going to be blinding when you have the lights turned off. And you could listen to the radio without being blinded. I lost my train of thought, sorry about that. So, let's go ahead and turn this on. You can see lighting is right there in the center. And the dial light is illuminated. Not too bright, but it is. I'd prefer it, of course, to be completely illuminated, but I'm not going to worry about it right now because it's a chore to tear that all apart. I'll worry about it in 40 years, or if I ever get bored and I need a project, then I'll tear it apart and add either more lighting or I'll put the correct lighting in there. Either way, it sounds good, looks good. Remember, my AM is, well, radio in general, I tore up from some kind of noise.
Just the tuition itself yearly is around $44.
No, call Brent 223-55.
Games that we have come to know over the past few years. So as much as I want to...
Por no guardar rencor, como verás, en una situación totalmente extrema.
Between the Ducks and Blackhawks, and the winner moves on to face the Lightning in the Stanley Cup Finals.
De la empresa, una empresa de carros, por ejemplo.
La de Ford.
Sí, o tiene un restaurante, tiene 2 restaurantes, okay. y ellos dicen, el presidente del restaurante X, fíjate, ahí viene
pretty impressive.
El director del restaurante
sounds good,
X,
it's nice and loud.
Y viene
If it wasn't for that noise, this thing would be kicking butt for sure.
To do well in education, and we also prayed for you.
And again, what are your fears?
June 30th, 2015.
he's going to get the 6-liter, and it'll be the saddest day of his.
The noise really sucks. And it's not only inside the house, but if I go outside to the patio, try to listen to a radio out there, I get the same noise. And on some radios I even get it on FM. And so this is FM here.
He was wounded for our transgressions.
With Daniel Barenboim and the English Chamber Orchestra.
The Month Club. Every month, we'll treat you. But I know that if you get out of college, if your undergrad's going to have 80 grand in debt.
For 400 vehicles available, all makes, all models, including. Should I know better when you came around that you were gonna make me cry? It's breaking my heart to watch you run around, 'cause I know that you're living a lie. But that's okay, baby, 'cause in time you will find. This weekend you wasted again, but again.
So it's coming here, come on.
Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake. Biggie, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. I guess that's why they're broken, you're so fake.
I can fill you with real millionaires. That's cargo, my cargo. 160, swiftly. Wreck it by your new one. The crew run. The crew run.
I was about 3/4 of the way up.
It's easy, girlfriend. It's a.
And Woodland Memorial Hospital. Sueños. No todos los jugadores calificarán para el club.
Summer is a special time of year.
You might be over time just starting to feel more tired.
Si no les puedo nada más informar la diferencia.
In the summer. So next time.
As you can hear, very sensitive, picks up a lot of stations. This is just off of the internal antenna. I would imagine you hook up an external, that thing's going to be pretty awesome. If you're ever looking for a nice table radio, this is most definitely it. It's going to sit really nice on my my nightstand. One thing, a couple things I wanted to mention was in the schematics, it talked about tape out jack. This model does not have it, but it said that the tape out jack was for the Canadian models only. I thought that was kind of odd. I guess the Americas and everywhere else don't use tape out. Wouldn't want to record from the radio. Also, while I was putting it back together, you notice the dial here. You have some parts that are white, other parts that are discolored, like dirt. It's real noticeable up there on the AM and FM. The AM being brighter than the FM. Well, I thought it was dirt, so I got me a damp paper towel, and I started to clean that, and then the white started to come off. That wasn't cool. I just thought that it was the plastic that was being shown through the metal cutouts, but apparently the white is silk screened on. So if you have one of these, or going to work on one of these, you probably don't want to clean that display. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.